We don't think of people when hearing spontaneous combustion. Welcome to a similar reality where people explode into flames called infernals. A man combusts in a train car. He is still alive, in burning pain. He looks like Ghost Rider without the motorcycle. Shinra Kusakabe remains on the platform. Everyone has fled. He smiles crookedly at the infernal. Enter Fire Force Company 8. They walk in solemnly, the blue strips of their armor glowing. The team is coordinated. They shove Shinra back. While praying, the team begins their assault. The infernal screams in pain, its flames growing taller and taller. Lieutenant Takisa Hinawa quickly fires what looks like a cannonball filled with water. It douses the infernal, but enrages it forms more flames and shoots them at the company. Makios, who wears a witch-like hat, rushes toward the flames and separates them like Moses did to the Red Sea, but way more epic. Sister Iris, wearing nun-like fire armor, has recited a prayer this whole time. We can tell it's nearing its end. Captain Akira Ruobai comes up from behind Maki. On his arm is a large forearm cannon. He sets it on the infernal's chest. Point blank he fires, blasting a hole through the fiery monster. From above, a large light fixture breaks loose. Shinra has seen it. It is above the cute, innocent-looking nun. Looking like a devilish Prince Zuko, Shinra's feet ignite much like a rocket, propelling himself forward. He swoops Sister Iris off her feet in the nick of time. His feet are so hot he slides over the concrete platform. Everyone is safe, and Shinra may finally introduce himself. It's his recruitment day. He is a third-generation fire soldier. His name is Shinra Kusakabe, and he is the newest member of Fire Force Company 8. His reputation precedes him. His pyrokinetic talent earned the nickname Devil's Footprint. Because of the footprints, his ability burns into the pavement. On his bare feet, Shinra arrives at his new home, a fire cathedral, Fire Force Company 8 seconds home. It's a dump, he says. Shinra is officially introduced to his new Captain Obai and Lieutenant Hinawa, who only has one question. Why the weird smile on his resume photo? Shinra reveals he smiles when nervous, and that this has gotten him into some awkward situations. The captain stares at him till the nervous smile breaks out. When asked why he joined the Fire Force, Shinra states he wants to be a hero. His superiors stress to him teamwork is better than heroics, and how they know Shinra was called a devil at the training academy. In the middle of the night, Company 8 loads up into the Matchbox, their specialty armored truck that looks like something out of Mad Max. On his first assignment, Shinra remembers his mother and his childish desire to become a hero. A wall of flames blocks Company 8 seconds way to the infernal. Shinra stumbles, his fear gripping him. The screams of his mother and little brother fill his head. The captain rallies him to his feet. Maki's power allows her to control flames. She spreads the firewall open like a curtain. They swirl into a fire tornado behind the company. The devilish face stares at Shinra before hurtling him away, knocking him out cold. Shinra is haunted by the memories of his family who perished in a house fire, one he was blamed for. He knows there was something in the fire, but no one believes him. Labeled as a devil even by his grandmother, Shinra vows to become the hero he could not be on that day. To prove to himself and the world he is a hero. Roused by his team, they prepare for their attack. The female infernal has jets of fire shooting from her limbs, like a web of fire consuming the room. The lieutenant lays down covering fire, while the captain and Maki push the infernal back. It leaps and pounces like a cat. The flames on his feet are being fanned by his promise. Shinra could not keep his promise to save his family, but decides to keep his promise to his new team. He rockets forward, leaping into the air. His flames cut through the infernals. He lands a kick right onto its chest. The infernal is reduced to ashes. Shinra is praised and the dedication to his promise grows. Arthur Boyle arrives at Fire Force 8 seconds base. A sword hilt sticks out of his backpack. He knows Shinra from Training Academy. They disagree on everything, but will be paired together for the Rookie Fire Soldier games. They meet and it's Devil versus Night all over again. Maki and Iris lounge outside, where Maki manipulates fire. As a second-generation pyrokinetic, she can manipulate flames, whereas Shinra is third-generation, meaning he can create his own flames. Arthur's sword does not have a blade. He also is a third-generation. He can create a plasma sword. The rivalry began when Shinra insisted heroes are better than knights. Arthur sees himself as the Night King. They are so close to being the same person, it's comical. The lieutenant meets Arthur and has him, Shinra, and Maki have a practice match. Maki, being an ex-soldier, gains the upper hand. Knocking Shinra off the roof, she turns to Arthur. His plasma cutter named Excalibur is not controllable by her powers. Still, his prowess in combat is lacking. With a hard knee to the chin, Maki knocks him down. She is fierce and hot all at once. Insulted at being called an ogre by the two rivals, takes over their powers by feeding the flames of Shinra's feet and Arthur's plasma cutter. She forms a giant fireball. The boys surrender. Company 8 heads toward an infernal. The captain gives Shinra a Type 7 axe and orders him and Arthur to hide their weapons from the crowd. The boys disobey the order and are given a lecture that fire soldiers put burnt souls to rest, and they must keep the family in mind. that it's someone's loved one who burst into flames. They aren't barbarians, they are peacekeepers. Flames shoot from the house and form a smirk. Feeling taunted, Captain Obai leads them in. Arthur destroys the core with his plasma cutter. The scene is peaceful. When ash pours in from the ceiling, it explodes like firecrackers. Company 8 suspects a third party attack them. A man in a top hat manipulates smoke to read Joker and makes his cigarette smoke make a face. He looks like a chain-smoking Mad Hatter laughing at his practical joke. The rookie Fire Soldier games have arrived. Shinra spots the Fire Soldier captain of Company 1, who helped him the day he got blamed for the house fire that killed his mother and brother. The captain says he does not remember Shinra, who expects the man is hiding something. Shinra rockets himself into the Fire Soldier game's site. Waiting for him is Joker, who offers Shinra information about his brother and past. Joker intends to kill the 2 unconscious crewmen. Shinra jumps to action. His feet ignite and he spins like a breakdancer, flames and kicks swirling around, but none connect. Joker laughs, "If you entertain me I will tell you." The Joker pops open a bottle of ash. It flows into Shinra's face and explodes. Joker strikes like this several times, then cuts Shinra's arm with a flaming card. Nervous and smiling, Shinra truly believes he will be killed. Joker tells Shinra his brother Sho is still alive. If Shinra gives up wanting to be a hero and embraces being a devil, Joker will tell him everything. It's the wrong question to ask him. His feet ignite. Shinra rockets through the air, kicking at Joker. Joker lets ash spread throughout the room, stating if Shinra wants to be a hero, he can start by saving everyone from the explosion. They grab the fallen crewmen, cut a hole through the ceiling, and Shinra rockets them out just in time to avoid the exploding ash. Captain Obai tells Shinra of the controlling bodies behind the Fire Force and how each keeps information to itself. Company 8 was formed to conduct an internal investigation of Fire Force. The exploding ash used by Joker comes from the ash of infernals. At a courthouse, a serial killer is released from jail and bursts into flames in the courtroom. Most infernals become mindless beasts, but he is aware. Company 8 arrives on the scene, and after trading words with the aware infernal, it leaps over a building. Obai orders Shinra to pursue it. The aware infernal crash lands onto a street, civilians scatter, and Shinra lands next to him. He goes on the offensive, kicking the infernal across the street. After a weak debate, the infernal throws a car at Shinra, who kicks it like a hacky sack into the air and jumps after it, sends it crashing down onto the infernal. Shinra appears more demonic than the infernal. Company 5 is observing the battle from a nearby rooftop. Given the infernal is aware, Company 5, which has close ties to Hijama Industries, a company that conducts research on infernals, wants this one for research. Company 5 seconds Captain Princess Hibana stops Shinra from killing the infernal. Her crew wrestles the infernal into a straitjacket. Shinra protests and is introduced to Hibana's pyrokinetic power. Her eyes glow and Shinra drops like a hypnotic spell made him lightheaded. After a domineering few moments between Hibana and Shinra, Captain Obai and Company 8 arrive. Obai and Hibana negotiate, and Obai allows Hibana to take the infernal for research. Iris seems uncomfortable around Hibana. The two companies part peacefully, but tension looms over them all. Sister Iris is troubled by her past. Old memories of convent life resurface after seeing Hibana. She clearly struggles to see Hibana act as she does. To prepare for the upcoming battle with Company 5 LT, Inawa puts Shinra and Arthur through training. He also shoots Shinra to showcase his power. He is a second-generation pyrokinetic. He controls fire and explosions, dulling the gunpowder to make a bullet non-lethal. Maki wakes up Arthur and Shinra. Iris is missing. She has gone to Company 5 in an attempt to reason with Hibana, who burns Iris' clothes and uses her as bait for Company 8. Shinra and Company 8 have begun their assault on Company 5. Hinawa orders Shinra to look for Iris. Hinawa covers Shinra by shooting opposing crewmen in the head, using his pyrokinetics to make the bullets non-lethal. Hinawa is ruthless. Without his abilities, all his opponents would be incredibly dead. Even Maki makes a comment on it. An old conehead and doped-up infernal confront Arthur as he searches the compound. Hinawa and Maki are attacked by exploding bubblegum. Unlikely but true, they are pushed back, discovering their assailant is in a warehouse. Hinawa proves how badass he is by firing bullets into the air, pausing them, turning them, and then controlling their ricochet. Every last one finding their mark, an impossible target without this amazing power. Arthur struggles against the doped-up infernal who blasts fire out his arm like Megaman. After belittling Arthur with insults and ideologies, it seems like the infernal has the upper hand in the fight, until Arthur realizes he is holding his sword in the wrong hand. Sword in dominant hand, Arthur charges the infernal. In one sweeping movement, he cuts through the infernal, which collapses and turns to dust. Shinra is closing in on Iris. He has to face down Captain Hibana. He must do something about her hypnotic power. 3 latex-clad Charlie's Angels appear and they charge Shinra. A single fiery roundhouse kick puts them down. Traumatized by her childhood, Hibana intends to crush Company 8. Iris continues to reason with Hibana to no avail. Shinra bursts through the door. His flame jets him toward Hibana. Her eyes flash. Shinra crashes. His flames go out. He must do something about her power. It's called heat syncope. It dilutes blood cells and makes the target feel lightheaded. While stepping on him, she calls him gravel, and we can all agree as far as villains go, she's super hot. Determined, our boy Shinra pushes himself to stand. Amazed but still in control, Hibana continues to taunt him. She conjures many fireballs and fires them. He dodges and jets forward. Another flash of her eyes, and another crash landing for Shinra. Her next move is a giant fire tree that swirls together behind her, its bark burning, its branches stretch out, and blossom petals that fall and burn what they touch. Shinra stumbles from the many falling burning petals. He steadies himself while listening about her traumatic background. How Iris and her were the only survivors of a convent fire. She centers him in a cyclone of burning petals. Burning Shinra grounds himself, promising to knock her out for her own good. Shinra finds an opening and lays down a massive right hook on Hibana, knocking her out into a flashback scene exploring her guilt, mainly how she became connected with Hajime Industries, a corrupt group conducting experiments on infernals. Hibana wakes up to Shinra and Iris tending to her. He promises her to be her hero whenever she needs. She has a change of heart and becomes Company 8 Second's ally. Fire Force Company 1 led by Captain Burns and his 3 lieutenants Yan Lai, Rekka, and Karim have learned Obai and Company 8 have begun their internal investigation of Fire Force. To cover up their battle the other night, Companies 5 and 8 call them a training exercise and celebrate with a barbecue. Obai gives an awkward speech and Hibana feeds Shinra steak. The 2 captains sneak off and talk over their situation. Hibana will cooperate with Obai's investigation. She shares that someone is intentionally creating infernals, and gives him a lead on where most have been popping up, in Company 1's 2nd District. To follow up on Hibana's lead, Obai sends Shinra and Arthur undercover to Company 1. They fear someone in the Fire Force is behind the infernals. Company 1 accepts Shinra, Arthur and a few other rookies for a training program. It is here that Shinra meets Karim, who we have to admit talks kinda funny. Karim leads them all to where Captain Burns awaits them. This is the captain Shinra believes is hiding the truth about his childhood house fire. Shinra quickly challenges Burns to a sparring match. If he wins, he can ask the captain any question. A rookie from Company 2 is ordered to spar with LT. Rekka. The rookie nervously creates dozens of fireballs after seeing Rekka ignite his fist. They launch simultaneously, many getting past Rekka. Karim steps in and freezes the flames in place using the sound from a handbell and strange horn-looking weapon. It's a power called acoustic thermal cooling. It earns praise from both Shinra and Arthur. Next match is Shinra and Arthur versus Captain Burns. Arthur charges in, but his plasma cutter is blocked by the captain's hand. Normally Excalibur would cut through steel. Burns is on a different level. With a pinch of his fingers, he shatters the plasma cutter, leaving Arthur dumbfounded. Shinra jumps, aiming a kick for Burns' head. It's blocked and the impact shakes the ground. Burns is just toying with him. Shinra lands a direct kick onto his chest. It burns away Burns' shirt but does no damage. Burns taps the concrete with his foot and sends Shinra flying backwards, crashing into Arthur. Karim is made in charge of them both and leads them to where they are gonna stay. Back at Company 8, Hibana is sharing her research on infernals with Obai and Hinawa. It is an insect that makes infernals. Hibana and Hinawa visit Company 1. Chances are high the culprit is a member of the Fire Force in their district. An infernal appears, sending out Company 1. On site, Shinra and Arthur are ordered to do nothing. While waiting, they see a man get turned into an infernal from an insect in a jar. They pursue the culprit, finding Rekka and Karim. Arthur catches up, but Shinra prevents him from confronting them. Later, the boys decide to search Karim and Rekka's rooms. They start with Karim's room and find an infernal insect in his drawer. He returns and convinces them he too is searching for answers. Also suspicions of Rekka's behavior yesterday, Shinra and Arthur accompany Karim to investigate Bekka. Rekka has tricked a crew member named Tamaki into gathering children for a prayer. He knocks her out and turns on 4 children and a mother. Placing an open jar on her chest, an infernal insect crawls into her. She explodes into flames. Rekka destroys her core, killing her in front of the children. Shinra and Arthur join Karim to search for Rekka, who is their primary suspect. Tamaki wakes and questions Rekka. He wastes no time in beating on her, shouting how disappointed he is and how she was supposed to take the fall for the crime he is committing. He rants how he is sacrificing children for the evangelists, a religious cult creating pyrokinetics with the infernal insect. As Rekka gives another insect to a child, Shinra flying above feels a strange sensation from the action, as if he can feel the flames. Tamaki lets loose as tall of flames as she can. This pinpoints her location to Shinra, who hovers above. Rekka beats and stomps on her, insulting her, and telling her he will make her death look like she burned herself. He prepares the final blow. Shinra crashes through the ceiling, feet aflame, and his devilish grin, he stomps a foot down hard on Rekka's cheek. Rekka won't go down that easily. He steps up with a flaming fist, sends Shinra flying across the warehouse. He follows up with a sharp jab to Shinra's chest. It's a dazzling display of flaming fists and feet. They are an even match, neither can keep the upper hand. The infernal insects react to Shinra's flames. Rekka recognizes Shinra as the Adala Burst, a pure flame worshipped by the evangelists. Shinra changes his strategy. He will use his speed in the spacious warehouse. Rekka ignites both his arms up to the elbow. They clash. Shinra kicks Rekka into the air, landing an impressive aerial combo, before vaulting himself off the ceiling, flipping, and landing a huge downward spin kick. Rekka crashes into the warehouse floor. The blow leaves Shinra overheated. His power is used up for the day. Refusing to back down, Rekka stands, vowing to take the compatible child back to the evangelists. Rekka's words stir Shinra's memories. His instinct tells him the evangelists are behind the fire from his childhood. Unable to act, Shinra is forced to watch Rekka prepare an attack. Ice forms on his arms. Karim walks in, captures Rekka in ice. A bolt of fire shoots clean through Rekka. Two white-clad evangelists prepare to fire again. Shinra throws around a smokescreen to cover them. The snipers retreat. Karim has them lay low for a few moments. Shinra is encouraged that he has a target. The evangelist took his brother and burned his house. Karim deduces Company 8 is investigating the fire force. He offers his cooperation. Tamaki joins up with Company 8 temporarily. A conference of captains is called to discuss the evangelists. Shinra and Tamaki go with Captain Obai since they were witnesses to Rekka. The captains are assembled. The conference is led by the Tokyo Empire Emperor, who orders all the captains to hunt down the evangelists. The 7th Company's captain, Benimaru Shinman, states the 7th will do what they please and leaves with his lieutenant. Next item at the meeting is Shinra's Adala Burst. All captains agree the evangelists will come after Shinra. Obai reassures them the 8th will keep Shinra safe. They say the Adala Burst is the flame their god Sol used to create the world, and is the same flame that powers all of Tokyo. After the conference, Shinra tours the thermal power plant Amaterasu. Joker appears wanting to talk. He confirms that the evangelists are the ones who took Shinra's brother Sho. Joker disappears as quickly as he appeared. Shinra returns home and joins his crewmen. All of Company 8 is worried about Shinra, but LT Hinawa has full confidence in him, which is good enough for Captain Obai. Obai has Hinawa tell the story of how Company 8 formed. They both had the desire to do more when stationed in the army and as a firefighter. Together and against orders, they put an infernal to rest. 2 years later, Company 8 was formed. Maki was recruited, then Sister Iris and the rookies Shinra and Arthur. Company 8 formed with purpose to cherish human life. Company 8 has one lead on the White Clads, a business located in Company 7 Seconds jurisdiction. Company 8 surprises Company 7 Seconds captain, asking him if they may conduct their investigation. A man combusts. The 7's captain rushes to destroy him, but also destroys a whole block with his devastating power. He can both create flames and control them. He is known as the most powerful captain. Hoping to win over the 7's captain, Obai has the 8th help with repairing the town. Shinra collects the 7's captain to bring him to Obai to discuss the investigation, but it is white-clad members in disguise. They've tricked Captain Benimaru Shinman into thinking the 8th is behind the infernals. He goes on the offensive, burning things and hurling them at Company 8. Hinawa and everyone bid time for Captain Obai to armor up. All of Company 8 is no match for Benimaru. His control of fire is excellent and his experience in combat lays them all out. Obai comes out armored and ready to fight. He closes in on Benimaru using a flame shield, which absorbs some major fiery blows for him. He throws extinguisher grenades, using their smoke to hide him. Benimaru is better, but Obai keeps pace and stands his ground well. Benimaru's lieutenant interrupts the battle as he prepares his best attack. He convinces Benimaru to hear out Company 8, who after listening goes to verify their alibi. The lieutenant begins to tell Company 8 how he got injured and how Benimaru became captain. The story involves a demon that looks identical to what Shinra remembers. This is all for this anime. Give the video a like.